गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव हरिनाम संकीर्तन कीजिए। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, text, Canto 2nd, chapter 3rd, 3, and text 14. Etat shushrushatam vidvan sutanor bhashitum katha hari kathodarkaha satam shuhu sadasi dhruvam etat shushrushatam vidvan sutanor bhashitum katha hari kathodarka satam shuhu sadasi dhruvam etat shushrushatam vidvan sutanor bhashitum katha hari kathodarka satam shuhu sadasi dhruvam. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning. Etat, this, sushrushatam, of those eager to hear. Vidvan, O learned. Suta Goswami. Naha, unto us. Arhasi, may you do it. Bhasitum, just to explain it. Kathaha, topics. Hari Katha Udarkaha, a result in the topics of Lord. Satam, of the devotees. Shuhu, maybe. Sadasi, in the assembly of. Dhruvam, certainly. Translation. O learned Sut Goswami, please continue to explain such topics to us, because we are all eager to hear. Besides that, topics which result in the discussion of the Lord Hari should certainly be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Purport. As we have already quoted from the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu of Rupa Goswami, even mundane things, if dovetailed in the service of the Lord Sri Krishna, are accepted as transcendental. For example, the epics or the histories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are specifically recommended for the less intelligent classes, women, Shudras, and unworthy sons of higher castes are also accepted as Vedic literature because they are compiled in connection with the activities of the Lord. Mahabharata is accepted as fifth division of the Vedas after its four after its first four divisions, namely Sam, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva. The less intelligent do not accept Mahabharata as part of the Vedas, but great sages and authorities accept it as the fifth division of Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is also part of Mahabharata, and it is full of the Lord's instruction for less intelligent class of men. Some less intelligent men say that Bhagavad Gita is not meant for householders, but such foolish men forget that Bhagavad Gita was explained to Arjuna, a grahastha family man, and spoken by the Lord in his role as a grahastha. So, Bhagavad Gita, although containing the high philosophy of the Vedic wisdom, is for the beginners in the transcendental science. And Srimad Bhagavatam is for graduates and postgraduates in the transcendental science. Therefore, literatures like Mahabharata, the Puranas, and similar other literatures, which are full of pastimes of the Lord, are all transcendental literatures, and they should be discussed with full confidence in the society of great devotees. The difficulty is that such literatures, when discussed by professional men, appear to be mundane literature like histories or epics, because there are so many historical facts and figures. It is said here, therefore, that such literatures should be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Unless they are discussed by devotees, such literatures cannot be released by the higher class of men. So, the conclusion is that the Lord is not impersonal in the ultimate issue. He is the Supreme Person. And He has different activities. He is the leader of all living entities, and He descends at His will and by His personal energy to reclaim the fallen souls. Thus, He plays exactly like the social, political, or religious leaders. Because such roles ultimately culminate in the discussion of topics of the Lord. All such preliminary topics are also transcendental. That is the way of spiritualizing the civic activities of human society. Men have inclinations for studying history and many other mundane literatures, stories, fiction, dramas, magazines, newspaper, etc. So let them be dovetailed with the transcendental service of the Lord, and all of them will turn to the topics released by all devotees. The propaganda that the Lord is impersonal, that He has no activity, and that He is a dumb stone without any name and form has encouraged people to become godless, faithless demons, and the more they deviate from transcendental activities of the Lord, the more they become accustomed to mundane activities that only clear their path to hell instead of return them home back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the history of the Pandavas with necessary politics and social activities. And yet, Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the Paramhans Samhita, or the Vedic literature meant for the topmost transcendentalists. And it describes Param Jnanam, the highest transcendental knowledge. Pure devotees of the Lord are all Paramhansas, and they are like the swans who know the art of sucking milk out of a mixture of milk and water. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshtarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So before beginning, I would like to seek blessings of all devotees, so that whatever I speak should be with right attitude for my own purification and glorification and pleasure of Lord and His devotees. Hare Krishna. So this is the third chapter of second canto. The title is Pure Devotional Service. So in this chapter, explanation about pure devotional service is given. And most of these verses are spoken by the sages of Naimisharanya, and mainly their representative leader is Shaunak Rishi. So he is speaking all these verses almost till the end of this chapter, that is 25th verse. All these verses are spoken by sages of Naimisharanya, and their leader representative is Shaunak Rishi. And very nice explanation of devotional service is given, how we should utilize time. And next ahead verses are very nice verses, that if we don't utilize the time in devotional service, then with every passing day we are going closer to death. But if we utilize the same time in Harikatha, Hari Kirtan, basically process of devotional service, then we go closer to eternal life, which is full of bliss, happiness, which is full of bliss, eternity, and full of knowledge. And in the beginning of this chapter, he explains, so basically he is answering the question, how one should utilize time in general. What is the duty of human being in general and specifically at the time of death, and what he should hear, what he should not hear. So here he is explaining what he should do. So it is explained that Tasmat, he should hear, therefore he should hear about the glories of the Lord, and by that one can become fearless even at the time of death. And then in the beginning, how a materialistic man who has no idea or who has no clue about the purpose and aim of human life, he worships different demigods for different material desires, to satisfy, to fulfill material desires, materialist. He worships different gods, and a long list is given. And then what is the hope for such a person? The answer is given when he comes in the association, he understands the aim of human life. And then he takes up to devotional service when he is convinced through the association of devotees. So this, when one comes in the association, it is not ordinary thing. It happens by the causeless mercy of the Lord. ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मिते कौन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लजा बीज. So when we see other people engaged in material desires or worship of demigods, we should not deride them, but we should give them opportunity to come closer to Lord through our association, by giving them opportunity to appreciate things related to devotional service. And by that, they have opportunity to come to develop the Shraddha and come to the path of devotional service. So this is the way for them to connected or to come to close to devotional service. So as a practitioners of Krishna consciousness, it is our duty to give them opportunity to come closer to Lord, because we are like association of devotees or devotees. Through them only they can be transformed. Their aims, their goals can be changed, and they can understand the true aim of human life. So that is explained. This verse is very important. I think this is 11th verse. Etavan eva yastam yaha nisre yasodaya bhagvatya chalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangataha. So this verse, it says all the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon Supreme Personality of Godhead only by the association of pure devotees of the Lord. So, all these different worshippers, their highest perfection, they can attain highest perfectional benediction, the other worshippers, when they come in association. And how it happens? Gradually, slowly, when Ajnat Sukriti is accumulated, then they develop this Shraddha. So, I was hearing in one place, preaching is nothing but giving opportunity to people to appreciate something related to Krishna directly or indirectly. So what is preaching? Preaching is giving opportunity to the people in general or to the worshippers of different demigods. To give them opportunity, to give such people opportunity to appreciate something related to Krishna directly or indirectly. And by that way, their Ajnat Sukriti is developed gradually, accumulated, and then they come to the stage of Shraddha. Let's say if someone comes, new visitors comes, and if a devotee who is giving prasadam, he greets him nicely with smile, naturally, then he may feel nice. Oh, this person is very nice. And if he has such a disposition, attitude towards the devotee, due to which he appreciates, he develops appreciation for that person, then that Sukriti is accumulated in his account. So he may not be right away start chanting 16 rounds, but he is on that path. Similarly, we hear this pastime of Gaurang Prabhu. He shares this many times. Once he was going in train distributing books, and he smiled and asked one person about Bhagavad Gita, requesting him to take. Then that person, he became so much happy, and that nobody smiles at it, at me, but you are smiling, you are asking me, like that. So this is the way for us, and this is the way actually of preaching. Now I may not see the person directly coming to 16 rounds. So when one understands this science of devotional service, then for a preacher there is no scope of being proud, or there is the other side is there is no reason for being getting discouraged. Even though even if I see that person taking to 16 rounds or not, there is no reason either for getting discouraged or becoming proud. So this is very important thing. And then this verse, when we come in the association, then that person, when he comes to association, then what he does, he is eager to hear about the Lord, which this verse explains. He says that, please explain to us such topics, because we are all eager to hear. And you explain the topics which result in the discussion of Lord Hari. And those topics should be discussed in the assembly of devotees. So this eagerness is very important for us to understand, to discuss about the Lord and the process of devotional service. And for this, we should be very serious about spiritual life. When we can do this, when we come in the association of devotees, when we are very serious about spiritual life. Otherwise, we will not take the advantage. I was reading in one of the purport, I think this is 7-8-23-24, this Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam. In that verse, Prabhupada gives explanation of each limb of devotional service. So there I was just reading this hearing, Shravanam. So there, Prabhupada writes, we should take advantage of the devotees. When we are in the association, we should take advantage of devotees. And what is the most right way of taking advantage is to hear from devotees about the Lord. Now we may associate with devotees for different reasons, to take advantage in different ways. But what is the right way of taking advantage of devotees is to submissively inquire, submissively hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by that way, we can develop nice relationship with devotees. And then we may not even experience the three tapatrayo unmulanam, three types of miseries, adhyadik, adidevik, adibhautik. So this is very important thing. When we come in the association, we should be serious. And for that, when will I inquire about devotee, about Supreme Lord or devotional service to other devotee? When I have deep respect, appreciation about that devotee. And this is also very important. Individually, we have to always develop appreciation, respect towards devotees. We should not treat them ordinary. We should not treat them as ordinary persons or people. So this is very important. So this, in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining that earlier, I forgot to read this, one note is there, footnote, I will read. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the importance of histories like Ramayana, Mahabharata, how we should discuss them with confidence, and then only others, they will take it seriously. I will just read this footnote. Even 50 years ago, somehow I forgot. Even 50 years ago, the social structure of all Indians was so arranged that they would not read any literature that was not connected with the activities of the Lord. They would not play any drama not connected with the Lord. They would not organize a fair or ceremony not connected with the Lord. Nor would they visit a place that was not holy and sanctified by the pastimes of the Lord. Therefore, even the common man in the village would talk about Ramayana and Mahabharata, Gita and Bhagavatam, even from his childhood. But by the influence of the age of Kali, they have been dragged to the civilization of the dogs and hogs, laboring for bread without any sense of transcendental knowledge. So in this purport, Prabhupada is saying, such literatures, these literatures like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they should be discussed with full confidence in the society of great devotees. Full confidence means what? At least I understand. Full confidence means I have to understand this. Discussing Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam is one of the 5 potent limbs of the devotional service. When we do this, then one develops bhav very quickly. So our aim of practicing this devotional service is to please our spiritual master, to please devotees, and by that pleasure we get mercy and will develop bhav and prem, will advance in devotional service. So we should discuss this literature with full confidence. Full confidence means we should have this faith that yes, by discussing this literature, my heart is purified of this material contamination, 6 anarthas, and gradually I will advance. So this faith should be there that yes, if I do this, just like if I eat every day, it is nourishing. If I don't eat, what happens? We become weak, there is no energy. So similarly, every day if we discuss these topics, then what happens? We gradually purify ourselves. And by that way we give others also opportunity to purify and advance. And by this, Lord is pleased, spiritual master is pleased. Because I am inspiring other devotee by my discussion. I am not disinspiring or... So basically my interaction should be spiritual as much as possible with other devotees. So this confidence should be there, this faith should be there that by discussing this literature my heart is purified. Then the other aspect of confidence could be, they are actually real incidences. They are connected because those activities, those discussions are in connection with the Lord. They are again very much important. And by that only the atmosphere of peace, happiness can be there in the society, even at individual level, collective level. The society always wants peace. They want to be peaceful, they want to be happy. So only when this discussion takes place in the society, only then can be society peaceful, happy. Otherwise there is no scope, there is no other way. Just like this Harinam, there is no way, there is no way, there is no way. What is that? Sanskrit? Nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. There is no way. So we should be convinced of this. So first thing is we should have faith that they are very important for the purification. And subsequently, society, individually, we can be happy, peaceful only when we do this every day. In our home, individual. Like this purport Prabhupada is mentioning, in earlier days, people they used to, now Prabhupada is writing of his earlier days, that means childhood or maybe when he was youth. That time, people, it was very common to discuss Ramayana, Mahabharata or some other local literatures given by local saints, which were in line with the parampara. Like even I remember when I was 8, 9, 10 standard, every day something or the other used to be there in the evening temple. They used to read Ramayana for let's say 3-4 months. They used to have every day Parayan. One person will read and others they will just hear, read and explain, and others would hear. Something or the other used to be there in the temple evening. 1 hour, half hour, whatever, every day. And almost at least for 6 to 8 months, if not less. It is more only. It was more. So this culture nowadays, it is not there. It has stopped. Because we are the next generation, they have become more advanced by taking education, traveling to workplace for 2-3 hours. They don't have time. And whatever rest time they have, they are busy with their mobiles. So this is very unfortunate situation. And in this lecture, Prabhupada was mentioning that earlier they used to hear and while coming home they used to discuss, and while going to bed they would again discuss, and when they were sleeping they would get dreams about Ramayana, Mahabharata, or whatever they used to hear. Prabhupada says like this. And then, as per the law, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, if they die, then they will go to spiritual world. Like this Prabhupada mentioned. So, life was very easy and simple because everything was in connection with the Lord. So, this full confidence is very important. Discussion with full confidence. And yes, so Prabhupada, he explains mainly about this. And so it is our responsibility to discuss, understand systematically this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So this association of devotees, when we inquire, when devotees they answer, it is very purifying. And the importance of this activity, this thing is given in Bhagavad Gita also. This verse is there in 10th chapter. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So this is very nice verse actually. This is 10th chapter, 9th verse. So I will just very nice Prabhupada says. So, Matchitta is what? Matchitta is their minds fully engaged in me. So, devotee, as a devotees, our mind should always be engaged in Krishna. Okay? Madagata prana, their lives devoted to me. So, a devotee's life should be devoted to him, to Krishna. Whatever he is doing, the ultimate purpose should be what? It should be pleasure of the Lord. I am going for job, I am doing some seva, it is for the pleasure of Lord. This is my home, this is my temple, whatever, this is my department. So everything is for the pleasure of the Lord, all the activities. So first thing is what? Mind should be fully engaged, Matchitta, Krishna should be there. Then lives devoted to Krishna. Then what the devotee does? Bodhayanta parasparam. So when such devotees they come together, then they bodhayanta. Bodhayanta means they enlighten. They enlighten. Bodh karte hain. Bodh mantona. Kathayanta, and they talk. What? About Mam, about Krishna, about him. Nityam, and they do this always, every day. And by that, they become pleased. Tushyanti and ramanti. Transcendental bliss they enjoy. See, if we don't do this, if my mind is not fully engaged in Krishna, or I don't consider the devotional service as my whole aim of life, then I will not talk about Krishna with other devotees. Therefore, I will not be pleased or happy. So, if we want to become happy in Krishna consciousness, we have to always discuss, or at least develop this practice of discussing whatever we have heard in lecture, whatever we are reading, not in sense of minimizing other devotee or showing off ourselves, but to sincerely advance or purify, and by that we can develop very nice relationship with devotees. So Prabhupada says in the translation, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So this is very nice verse where Krishna personally is explaining what the devotees they do, what is their real happiness. If we don't follow this instruction of Krishna, then what we will do? We will not be happy, we will discuss about the bad qualities or some prajalpa or some faults of other devotees. If we don't follow this, then we will do other things, and those things will take us away from Krishna. So this is very important for us to follow this instruction of Krishna. And basically, what is devotional service? Devotional service is to establish our connection with Krishna, and then we have to act as per that relationship with Krishna. And then third is derive greatest benefit by that relationship with Krishna. What is that? Eternal life full of knowledge, bliss and happiness. So, devotional services, we have to establish our connection with Krishna as a master, ourselves as the servant of Krishna and his devotees. Then, to act in that relationship, we have to practice of acting. It is difficult, but we have to practice because we are practitioners. We cannot imitate pure devotees, or we cannot relax ourselves by giving many excuses. But we have to practice this, act as per that relationship, and then derive the highest benefit by that relationship with Krishna, which is nothing but eternal life, full of eternal life, transcendental life. So in this purport, Prabhupada is writing, pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. So every time when we sit with the devotees, when we are in the association of devotees, we have to always develop this practice of discussing Krishna Katha, or at least topics they should culminate in the Krishna Katha. Now we may start with Krishna Katha, but they may end up in some other discussion. So that is quite possible. So we have to do this. Actually, and this whole process of devotional service, how to associate with devotees is very nicely explained, and I had thought of discussing those verses, but unfortunately I discussed something else only. So I request you to read this section, very nice, 11th canto, 3rd chapter, verse 23 to 30. These verses are very nice. And in this very famous verse is there, Parasparanukathanam Pavanam Bhagavati Yasah Mithoratir Mithotustis Nivratir Mitha Atmana. Very nice. What is the effect of such association? When we associate with devotees by discussing Krishna Katha, what happens? Friendship develops. Then we are very satisfied. So this whole section is very nice. 23 to 30. It is explanation of devotional service. And today is also the disappearance day of Sarang Thakur. So our dear Prabhu, he requested, requested whatever. So for his pleasure, I will just discuss about Sarang Murari Thakur, whose disappearance day is there today. And I was hearing from Radha Govind Maharaj, he says, whenever such appearance or disappearance days are there of the devotees, of the Acharyas, we should discuss about them, we should read, we should hear, we should make it a point to read or hear, because on those special occasion, it is very purifying, because they are very happy on those days. And we can also sincerely pray, and that is one of the important process for advancement in devotional service. So with that also I will read this. So Srirang, this is from our Vaishnava calendar. This is all right, no? So here, Sri Sarang Murari Thakur, he used to recite at Modadrum Dvip Mamgachi. And his deities, Sri Radha Gopinath, are still present. So his worshipable deities were Radha Gopinath. So one day when Mahaprabhu, he visited him, he noticed that there is a bakula tree in the courtyard of his temple, Sarang Thakur's temple. There was a tree, and Mahaprabhu noticed that tree. And he asked to Sarang Thakur, "Oh, this bakul tree is dying, so what are you doing? So, what are you going to do?" So Mahaprabhu he is asking, "Oh, this tree is drying, and what you are doing to do that, to save that tree?" Then Sarang Thakur, he replies, he says, "O Lord, beside your mercy, I don't see any hope for this tree." So he says, only you can save him. There is no other hope. Then Mahaprabhu, he embraces that tree. And that tree, it is said, it is healthy even to this day and is now quite large. So this is one pastime. Then, so he had taken a vow, Sarang Thakur, that I will not accept any disciples. But Mahaprabhu, he repeatedly requested him to accept disciples. And so finally he was reluctant, but then he agreed. And he said, "Now tomorrow morning, the person I see, I will initiate with the divine mantra." He said, he agreed, "Okay, tomorrow morning, whoever I see, I will accept him as my disciple." And it is very amazing. Next day, what happens? He, in the early morning, he goes to take bath in Ganga. And by chance, a dead body came and touched his feet as he entered the water of Ganga. So, picking up this body, he said, "Who are you? Get up." From behind Mahaprabhu, he was witnessing everything. He was watching everything, Mahaprabhu. He, Sarang Thakur, that body, he came closer, he touched. And he is saying, "Who are you? Get up." And Mahaprabhu is watching. And he said, Mahaprabhu, who was witnessing everything, called out, "Sarang, say the mantra in his ear." So Mahaprabhu is requesting, "Please recite the mantra and initiate him." Then when Saranga said mantra in the ear of that dead body, the body became conscious. The body became conscious. He said, "My name is Murari, I am your servant. Please bestow your mercy upon me." The dead boy, he became alive when he recited mantra, and he said, "I am Murari, I am your servant. Please bestow your mercy upon me." So, what is the background here? On the day when this boy was to be invested with the sacred thread ceremony, he was bitten by a snake and died. And as he was only a boy, the custom at that time was not to burn the body, but rather to place it on a raft of banana trees. Some banana trees raft on that and float it in the Ganga river. So that's how this boy was floated by his parents in the Ganga. And that came here and he initiated, he got up, he got the life. So when his parents received the news that their child was alive, they came there to take him home. However, Murari, he declined to accompany them to his former home. He said, "No, I cannot come." He told them, "I will remain in the service of He who has given me life again, for I am indebted to Him. So I will remain in the service of Sarang Thakur. I will not come to you. I will not go back to him." So this is one nice pastime. Just few more things are given here. So this Murari, I don't know here about whom. So about this Murari Chaitanya Das, whom he initiated, some things are given about him. So, which are explained by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Murari Chaitanya Das, the pastimes about Murari Chaitanya Das, to whom I think Sarang Thakur initiated, his pastimes are given here. So this Murari, what he used to do, this is given in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ante Leela, chapter 5, text 426 to 434. You can refer maybe later. So this Murari Chaitanya, he would enter into the forest to chase tigers. And sometimes he would jump on the back of a tiger, who by his influence remained inert. And this tiger, they would not do anything. And at other times, he would put a python on his lap and play with great delight. He would play with python, sit on the back of tiger. It was by the mercy of Avadhut Mahasaya, that Nityanand Prabhu, that he was able to play in this way with tigers and snakes. Sri Nityanand Rai is very affectionate to his servants, and thus by a simple wink of his eye, they are able to enjoy mellows which are not even accessible to Lord Brahma. Then Murari Chaitanya, he was always forgetful of himself, absorbed, always in the bliss of speaking about Krishna consciousness. Sometimes he would remain in the water, within the water for 2-3 days. Now even for 2-3 days, 2-3 hours if we are submerged in the water, it is very difficult. But for 2-3 days he would submerge himself. Okay, these are some of the accounts, pastimes. So, this temple of Sarang Thakur and his worshipable deities, Radha Gopinath, are still being worshipped at Mamgachi, Jaharnagar, just north of present town of Navadvip. The worshipable deities of Vasudev Datta Thakur, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Madan Gopal are also residing there. One can, I think this Prabhupada, I don't know. One can go there by rickshaw or tram from Navadvip town. By train, one should go north towards Katwa and get down at the second stop, Bhandar Tikuri. There one can easily ask and find the temple. So this is about him. And it is said, the Vraj Brahmani Nandi Mukhi Devi appeared as Sarang Thakur. So in Krishna Leela, he is Vraj Brahmani, I think Brahman Patni, Nandi Mukhi Devi. And some people think that Sarang Thakur was incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. And my father did not agree with them. This Kavi Karnapur is saying that Shivanand Sen, my father, did not agree with this opinion of some devotees. So, Sri Saranga Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Hare Krishna.